we will be learning very basic guidelines and techniques to calm our mind and establish our mindfulness, and particularly techniques to find inner peace, how we can settle within ourselves. The teachings of the Buddha is mainly focused on understanding the dissatisfaction or unsatisfactoriness, or in simply how we experience suffering, and then how we can overcome that dissatisfaction or suffering. So in the practice to overcome this dissatisfaction, Buddha has given the Noble Eightfold Path, the 8-factored path and practice. The last item of that path is called Samma Samadhi. We can translate in different ways, but it is the stillness, the tranquility, the peace that we can develop in our mind. So in this retreat, we are learning techniques to calm ourselves and then find ways to settle our mind, which can help us later to have more wisdom, more insight into the true nature of our own existence and our own life. So therefore, our goal would be to find ways to settle our mind. And how we can settle our mind and how we can find inner peace is mainly learning techniques to withdraw ourselves from our senses, from our preoccupation with our senses. That is one way. Because as human beings, we are living in this world, we are interacting with this world through our sensory organs. We experience the world through our sensory organs. But we use our senses not only to interact with the world, we are also using our senses to indulge, to experience some pleasure. So our senses are the means through which we indulge in the world, and those are the means that we experience some kind of gratification, some kind of happiness. So if the vast majority of the people in the world are seeking happiness through our sensory organs. We like to see pleasant things with our eyes, right? We like to listen to pleasant things. We like to taste pleasant things and smell pleasant things and have pleasant tactile sensations. So which is not bad, that is how all living beings are living their lives. But the issue here is that actually that kind of happiness that we get through our senses is very temporary, and furthermore it's not very reliable. So any enjoyment we get through our eyes, ear and nose, any joy that we get through pleasant sensory objects are very fleeting. We need to recreate that happiness again and again and again and again. And then, so therefore it has some kind of burden to recreate that happiness again and again. So when Buddha was talking about the dissatisfaction, suffering, and different forms of happiness, Buddha recognized that our sensory pleasure is a form of happiness. It is a sukha, kama sukha. But for the Buddha, it is a very primary, or maybe a very basic type of happiness that we can experience as human beings. Because as human beings, we are capable of experiencing more deeper levels of happiness. So we can continue to use our senses to enjoy beautiful things, but we need to develop more inner refuge, more inner ground to experience deeper level of happiness. Because the happiness that we get through our sensory organs are fleeting, is not temporary, and also not reliable, because whatever give us enjoyment, happiness are changing all the time. But at the same time, our sensory organs are also changing. We used to see beautiful things, but our eyes can, get old and change, and then you will not have a clear vision, and then how you are going to enjoy, a nice movie, for example, right? And we used to, listen to soothing, pleasing sounds, but then our ear can get old, and we can have hearing problems, and then how we can enjoy that beautiful music. If you aim to have a deeper experience of meditation, usually it happens in a sitting posture. So I will let us be familiar with the basic techniques that techniques we need to sit properly. So one thing that is really important for us to understand when we talk about sitting posture, the reason that we want to sit properly is to actually maintain our spine in its natural shape. Our spine is of course the main component of our body, and so our spine has three natural curves. Lumbar curve, which is right below, in our lower back, the curve caving in, and then we have thoracic curve that is right in the middle, and then we have cervical curve right near our neck. So if you think about, if someone is facing this direction, so we have one curve starting with the lumbar curve, and then we have opposite curve right in the middle, and then when we go to our neck, we have again curve the opposite direction. So we have three curves. So we need to maintain these three curves in order to have a proper meditation and a healthy meditation. And so we usually call, keep the body straight. Although we call it straight or upright, it's not really one is straight like a line, but actually adjusting our body to experience these important three curves in our body. So can we try to I think when we create our lumbar curve, the right in the lower back, it will help us to adjust other curve. Can you try to just experience that, maybe make an effort to create that lumbar curve in the curve in the lower back, pushing, yes. So you can see our upper body automatically become, straight when we create the lumbar curve. But at the same time, we need to remember, when you create the lumbar curve without realizing, we are also tightening our upper body. So we need to purposefully readjust our upper part of the body again, relaxing our shoulders. Although we have these three curves, we don't want to tighten our shoulders, we want to relax and drop them. And one key technique to maintain these three curves in our spine is to actually sit from the proper place of our sit bones. We have this set of bones, what we call sit bones. That is where we sit. But even the sit bone, there's a specific part of the sit bone that is designed to carry the weight, that is designed to touch the ground. But when you sit like a very slouch way like this, we are not sitting from the proper place of our sit bone. We are sitting from the wrong place. So therefore, when you are sitting on a cushion or a chair, even when you are sitting on a chair, it's really important to tilt your buttock a little bit, and then find that nice place of your sit bone to make sure that you are sitting from the proper part of your sit bone that allows the whole weight of your body to smoothly flow to the ground. So this is another image to find your sit bones. You see this arrow. So when you are slouching our body, we are sitting from the wrong place of our sit bone where this arrow is pointed. But when we adjust our body, we are sitting from the correct place of the sit bone, which is on the bottom. Most of the time, even when you are sitting on a chair, we don't really sit from the proper place. When we do this mistake, all the alignments of the upper body is gone. We cannot maintain that alignment when you are sitting from the wrong place. So that is why it's really important to make sure that you sit from the proper place of the sit bone. So just to give you an idea, what's going to happen when you sit from the proper place of the sit bone and then maintain the natural shape of your spine, very interesting thing can happen. Because our body has a weight. Our skull is quite heavy, and our shoulders are quite heavy. So that's a weight in this whole body. So those weight has to be carried by our spine, the whole weight of the skull and other things. So when our spine doesn't have that three curves, usually we have only one curve, right? We have the one C curve. Like whole our back is round, nice round like a C curve. But that is not the best curve to carry any weight, right? It's like a off balance. If you have three curves, yes, maybe that three curves can carry the weight, because it is simply physics, right? So when we maintain the three curves, the weight of our skull and other parts of the body are smoothly carried through the hard part of our spine, and is slowly moving to our sit bones, and then moving down to the chair and the earth. And when you find this nice balance, you can come to a point where you feel less weight of the body. Right now you can feel some tightness, some weight of your body. Right now you can feel the weight of your shoulders, you can feel the weight of your head, so you can feel your body is quite heavy, even when you are sitting. But when you nicely, come to a point that maintaining the three curves of the spine, and you can hit the line of gravity. When you can hit the line of gravity, you can do some experiments, it's even sitting on a chair, sitting on a cushion. When you hit that line of gravity, you can experience the very light body, sometimes even to the point that you don't feel any weight of your body. So that's the ideal, but of course, we don't expect anyone to come to that level at the beginning. But just to have that idea in your mind, that is the goal that we should have in our sitting posture. So if you are sitting on a chair, even on a chair we can sit we can lose this shape of our spine. We can have one C curve, or we can have very slouchy sitting. So if you are sitting on a chair for meditation, I encourage you to either you can sit at the front edge of the chair and then maintain that natural shape of the spine. And if you have some other health issues, you can lean against the chair, but make sure that you don't lean against the chair and you don't touch the upper part of your back. It's okay to touch your lower back, but not the upper back. The moment that you touch the upper back, you lose the the balance, and also most probably you will also have more sleepiness when you have some support to your upper back. So it's okay to touch the lower back. So even in a chair, we can sit at the front edge of the chair and then maintain that natural shape of the spine. There's one more reason why we need to maintain that three curves of the spine, because of the cerebral fluid. Of course, our brain is covered with this what we call cerebrospinal fluid. Is also coming down to our spine. So our brain is resting within this fluid. So, and it's also coming down to our spine. So we need that fluid to move smoothly without any blocks. So when you have like slouchy posture, that fluid is not moving smoothly. So in order for us to have a deeper calmness, or like for our neurons to like calm themselves, we need that fluid to flow without any block. So that's one other benefit. So when you are sitting on the floor, there are a number of options. So sit on the floor. So you can have a full lotus, just like Bhante Punna is sitting now. You can have full lotus, and that's one option, but it doesn't have to be that way. Remember, what is really important is not how you keep your legs. What is really important is that how you keep your spine. That's the key. So whatever the leg position that can help you to maintain the three curves is going to help you. So of course, full lotus is automatically helping us to maintain that three curves of the spine. But we can also have half lotus, and also what you call Burmese posture. And also you can have a nice bench or nice cushion, like keeping our legs down, or you can sit on a chair and move into the front edge. What we really want to prevent is this. See the difference? How we can sit with a slouchy posture and then sit on the wrong place and having a bad shape of the spine, and how we can use some support, maybe a cushion. Sometimes it's helpful to have some height to your back to maintain that shape. For different people, you may need different heights. So based on our body structure, so you can experiment with different heights. You can have a blanket and try to fold it. You can have a nice like cushion right now, and you can try to increase it and see which height will help you to rest your legs and then also maintain that natural shape of the spine. In that case, we can start our first guided meditation, and Bhante Punna is going to help us to do a loving kindness meditation, like helping us to withdraw ourselves from our senses and come into our body and mind, and then we'll have positive thoughts. Bhante, since they have been sitting for some time, maybe we can help them to stand up and do some little movement, right? So, since we have been sitting for a long time, it's time for us to, have some change. So I encourage you to stand up for a while, and we will do some awareness of the body while we are standing up. Okay, let us develop our awareness of the body even in this posture. So you can keep your feet like a hip width apart, maybe about 1 foot apart. That will enable you to, distribute your weight somewhat evenly to your 2 feet. We have a habit of leaning to 1 foot more than the other. So at this time, we will purposely try to distribute our weight evenly to our 2 feet, being fair to our both feet, right? And distribute our weight to both feet and try to feel that balance. How nice when you distribute that weight to our 2 feet. Feel that balance, feel that stability. And take a moment to feel the sensation in your feet. How your heels are pressed with the weight of your body. And see whether you can feel the other parts of your feet. Gently moving to the front part of your feet. How much muscles you can feel in the front part of the feet. And even moving to your toes. How many toes you can feel now? How many toes are touching the floor? With this awareness of the feet, we have come to inside of ourselves, so we can gently withdraw our reliance of the gratification or excitements of our senses. We can simply come to our body and be here and now and be fully contented with whatever the sensations we are experiencing right now. So we will develop this awareness of the body, paying attention to whatever sensations that are available in our body. We develop this attitude of equanimity towards all the sensations. Some sensations in the body can be pleasant, and some may be unpleasant, and some may be neutral. Whatever the quality of the sensations, we simply notice them, welcome them without attaching to pleasant ones or trying to reject the unpleasant ones or trying to ignore the neutral ones. We simply embrace them all with equanimity. Let us now enhance the awareness of the body, moving from our feet all the way to our knees. Observe how your knees are also holding the weight of your body. How the knee is trying to balance the body. Our knees are doing such a great job of helping us to balance the weight of the body. And moving upward and try to feel the hip area. Whatever the sensation you have around the hips, feel them. And you can slowly travel to the back area, the lower back. And then slowly move into the upper back and feel whatever sensation you feel around your shoulder blades. How much clothes you can feel around your shoulder blades. And now you can move your shoulders and feel from neck all the way to the end of the shoulders. Any clothes you can feel around your neck and to the shoulders. And then gradually moving down through your arms. See whether you can notice your elbow. And slowly move into your palms and fingers. From your palms, you can move to our belly area. Closely watch what is happening in the belly right now. Maybe you can notice the gentle movement in your abdomen, in your belly, with the breath. And slowly you can move to your chest area. And feel the subtle movement in the chest area along with the breath. So then we can slowly move to our face, observing the subtle sensations occurring in our face. Feeling the nostrils, eyeballs, forehead, and the top of the head. Now we are fully aware of our standing posture. We have developed awareness on each part of the body. This awareness of the body is peaceful. This is truly the posture of the body right now. We can withdraw from all other needs, all other yearnings, and simply come to this body and be with this awareness of the body and be fully contented with the awareness of the body. Just be aware. Right now, I am here and now in this body. Nowhere to go, nothing else to do. Simply be in the body, right here and now, in the body. Noticing all the subtle sensations occurring in different parts of the body. Just witnessing them, being with them, without any other yearnings, without any other wants or desires or needs. Simply being with the body. With this awareness of the body, let us now get ready to sit down again, but maintain this awareness of the body when you walk towards your seat, and when you slowly sit down, when you slow your body, try to be mindful of each movement, each touch of your body. So with full mindfulness, slowly move back to your seat And take your time and slowly sit down. Take a moment to adjust your body. Remember the 3 curves of your spine. You may not be able to maintain the perfect way, but just try your best. It will help you to stay comfortable for a long time. It will also help you to deepen your meditation. Take your time to adjust your body and try to tilt your buttock and try to find the proper place of the sit bone. And create that inner arch of your lower back. But at the same time, make sure that your upper body is not tightened. Relax your shoulders. You can drop your shoulders to the sides. And one other important thing is to keep your chin somewhat parallel with the earth.
Once you get it into your mind and you fail, you cannot do anything. We cannot do anything. We fail. We don't want to do anymore. Right now we talk about them because we don't have. If you have any so-called mentality, you don't listen to anybody. You are stubborn and you go in your own way. That is why this kind of spiritual times are very important for us to recognize them and think about them. Otherwise, very stubborn. So, restlessness and remorse or whatever, all the, as Bhante mentioned, yes, of course, observing precepts. But what I mean, the observing precept itself won't be helpful at that level because your mind is very weak, psychologically wounded. So you have to work on that very carefully, gently.
And perhaps part of that healing is to also know how to let go.
Yeah, let go is a nice word.
And difficult to do.
You should have both.
I think we all are not perfect, so we all have done mistakes in our lives, and it is common that we have done something bad or wrong in our life. So it's very important to recognize it and accept it. But I think what the Buddha is recommending us is to actually not keep worrying about the mistake that we have done again and again and again and again, but focus more on the strength that we have, that we can overcome it. But Bhante is suggesting us that, instead of quickly trying to overcome it, but first try to understand it. Understand it and understand the root cause, then it will help us to get rid of it completely later. Right, Bhante?
Yeah, because education is the most important part in our life. By exposing yourself directly, you educate yourself and you collect some experiences for your life. That is why I think I'm thinking.
So in the teachings, because of the Buddha's teaching on non-self, so all of us are not a finished product. We keep evolving still. So nothing is fixed. We keep evolving, changing. So whatever mistakes, bad deeds that we have done is not not the end of the story. So we still have more room to keep growing and keep changing. So therefore, keep regretting, maybe remorseful about what we have done again and again. Is not considered a virtue in Buddhism. But of course we need to recognize it, but then should focus more on the strength that we have to move forward. Don't stuck there, and we can keep growing.
Is it like, I have a friend, he was abused when he was a child. So as he was growing up, he abused his children, you know. And then when we met him and we sat with him, brought him into the Dhamma, he changed. He could not go back to his children because he's separated from them and the family, and they don't accept him anymore. But what he did was, instead of living in that pain, he actually took out money financially, and he got some orphans, you know, and he worked with them, like paid for their fees, give them tuition, things like that. And then he sent his love to them. Is that what Bhante is talking about, the healing, the part that do what we can do rather than live in what we have done
In the past, yeah.
not able to change?
Yes.
Would this be an example?
Yeah, that's the way actually we can do. We have to find the routes and the ways to heal ourselves.
Yeah, he's healing right now. He's healing very well. And the children are also abused children. So the children are also getting that love and seeing a different kind of parent in that sense. So I think it's actually working out for both parties.
Both parties, yeah, that's true. Yeah, thank you, sister. Yeah.
It's a nice
Good
sharing.
example.
Thank you. Yeah.
I mean, when you were talking about the healing, I was thinking of this person and I think it matches what you're saying.
Yeah, we all have opportunity to heal ourselves, correct ourselves. The problem is that if you are complaining repeatedly without accepting your mistakes, that's a mistake. So we have to accept our mistakes and then we have to work on them and find ways to correct them. Actually very easily, then we can heal. But as you mentioned, somebody brought him into the Dhamma and educate him and help him to heal. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, the friends who brought him into the Dhamma, exposing him. They were also mundane people and not able to tell him what to do. There was just an exposure. And from the learnings from the Dhamma, he actually applied it in his everyday life. So I thought that was very, very close to what you were saying.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, sister, you have a question?
Bhante, my question kind of had been answered just now. Thank you very much. And through all the Dhamma talks I've attended, I try to grasp, I try to learn, I try to cultivate, try to know inward and find out what my problems are, and then try to let go. As you say, easy, not easy, but certain things can be let go. Certain things can't be let go. This is something that I don't know how to deal with, because we do so many things, right? And we have to handle and deal with so many subjects, so many people, and everyone behaves differently. So every time a problem comes, so we try to look inward for the solution. You say, sit down, get calm, and try to find a solution, but sometimes let go. But there are times when you cannot let go because I don't know whether this is right, because for me personally, I feel if I let go, I let other people down. So in this aspect, especially when we are doing things together, but I'm not happy, not because I am troublesome, feel unhappy about, and I tell myself, okay, just try and accept it. And then if I really cannot, then I have to let go. Then other thoughts come in, like if I let go, what's going to happen? And I'm going to let other people down, I'm going to let whatever we are doing down. So this is very troublesome actually.
I think that, Bhante, we have to understand what is the meaning of real meaning of the letting go.
Yes, Bhante.
People think that letting go is not throwing away.
Yeah. Letting go is not giving up.
And letting go is not giving up, as Bhante.
If we let go, like people keep doing things.
Actually, accepting, you say accept.
Yeah, this is the very simple gesture that I can show you what is the letting go mean. The nature of our life, nature of our mind is always grabbing, holding, and keeping tightly, claiming ownership. What Buddha says, letting go, in letting go, what we do, just we keep open. That doesn't make any sense that you have let it go. But if it wants, it can go. What you have provided is freedom and security. Continuously you have to provide the freedom and the security while you are letting go. Letting go is a very spiritual factor. Letting go is not dropping off. That is why I think you argue within yourself, did I let it go properly? Why am I doing letting go or letting down? That kind of conversation is going on there because I think truly we have to understand the real spiritual meaning of letting go. Letting go is keep your arm open. Keep your palm open and let it be there and provide the security and the freedom, most important factors for everybody. It is very hard, again.
It's sometimes even accepting our limitations is also part of letting go. Yes, 30%.
Thanks, Bhante, for the conversation. Actually, I have a question on doubt. Because I think other four already I have gone through. I have recognized by myself and I am able to fix it on myself. So I cannot say but I am proud of it. But the final one doubt is actually a big doubt for me. Knowing our, just before some time Bhante said, knowing our uniqueness is actually a good thing. And you said the doubt, if we have any doubt, we should be more curious. The curiosity we can overcome or go through the doubt. But I feel myself, I'm over curious. Getting into reality. And surprised to know that I don't have fear for anything. I don't know why. I think if I'm doing things right, I don't need to fear for anything.
If you notice that you are over curious, then you know it.
I'm more doubtful.
No, I mean, if you more doubtful.
Because curious about everything. That I'm going to sit and I want to try that, and in between something comes in, I want to try that even. I don't know, many people feel like maybe suffering the same, I don't know. It's like the curiosity is, I think it's even more serious.
I use the word curiosity to just to questioning.
Yeah, opening
yourself and questioning, but not, abruptly, but to know something with the point, having a kind of clear understanding about the question. When you have a nature to raise the questions, itself has to have a kind of discipline. What kind of question do I ask? How should I form the question? What is the purpose of asking this question? And so forth. We have to develop some kind of guidelines ourselves before we raise the question. And that kind of questions will provide the clear answer. That answer will grow you and dispel the doubt slowly.
So within the context of meditation, what we mean by doubt is the uncertainty of our practice, uncertainty of our journey. So if you're uncertain, what I'm doing, what is the goal of this practice, so then we have a lot of doubts. So that is why we explain at the beginning, that is why we have to have a right view, or the first right vision, to have clear understanding of why we are practicing this, what is the goal, and what are the examples that we have before us. So the more questioning, or maybe being more knowledgeable about the Dhamma can help us to have a get rid of the uncertainty or instability of our understanding. So we know when we are sitting, we are doing this for this purpose. Yeah. Otherwise we'll be questioning why I'm doing this, is it going to work, is it right, is it wrong, because we don't have a clear understanding.
But uncertainty falls under the restlessness.
Say again?
The restlessness, where we are not certain about things and...
Yeah, uncertainty is the foundation for all other things too. Yeah, it's a part of the other things, yeah.
So I think I will still in restlessness.
Yeah, restlessness can even be a habit, right, Bhante?
Mm-hmm.
Can be a habit.
Yeah.
Thank you, Bhante.
Yes, sister.
For instance, forgive me if I do not ask my question in a clear way. Something that I find a bit difficult to understand when it comes to meditation and how to overcome our defilement. Because I understand that defilement probably we call kalesas or nirvana. And through meditation, through vipassana meditation, through observing our own mind, and then developing awareness, mindfulness, beyond mind, they say we can get rid of our defilement. And Reverend just give us a small explanation how this thing can come about. That is by
That is our next topic.
Explain defilement indirectly in our subconscious mind. Thank you very much.
Yes, sister, that is the topic of our next talk. I think what Bhante encourages us, first we need to recognize defilements as they are present. And before we become very rushed to overcome it, first we need to recognize it. And then we can find ways to overcome it. I think you asked an example. I think we can explain, but maybe we will take the break, and before we start the next session, we will explain briefly. But it takes time. Of course, our meditation, our mindfulness, all these spiritual practices are aiming to help us to overcome defilements, which is possible to do it. But you asked me an example, right? Yeah. So maybe I will try to explain with an example, maybe future talks. Yeah.
Thank you, Reverend.
Thank you.
Thank you.